All right, guys, look, somebody here is lying. All right, and we're going to get right to the bottom of this. I mean, you can't be too busy trying to fix family issues, but then also somehow have all the time in the world to be able to do interviews under the sun and chime in on everybody's tweets, messages, share your opinions on fights, future fights, challenge other fighters. I mean, look, Arman Tsarukyan just called out Ilia Topuria for it and publicly called him out publicly, guys. And I was kind of wondering too, because here I am. I go through a lot of social media, and always reading the stories, and I'm noticing that Ilya's really active. This guy is super active on social media. He's doing interviews, he's chiming in, he's responding to fighters and their tweets. And I'm like, wow, and he's really busy. And I thought all this time he just wanted to kind of step away from things because he wanted to take care of his family issues. But yeah, when Arman called out Ilia just recently, it became personal. So let's get into this, guys. Welcome back. What's good, everybody? Welcome to Duality 7X. I'm your host. I'm Shiraz. And look, on this channel, we try to cover all the latest trending stories when it comes to the world of MMA, UFC, WWE, and boxing. Here, no fillers, no fluff, no biasness, just real fight talk, guys. And if that's what you guys are into, then please smash the like and subscribe and help us out. And hit the bell notification so you guys never miss a beat, because we got a lot of interesting stuff, and we're just getting started, guys. So look, let's get right into the story. That's what everybody wants to hear and see. So look, there's a lot of lightweight drama going on in the division, and it's getting super, super messy. And the funny thing is, one of your biggest stars and champions stepped away for personal issues. I covered a lot. I have some videos on this. I covered it extensively. As you're aware, Ilya's going through some family related issues, and he needed to step away from the UFC for personal reasons, and he was granted that. Now, that said, when you're stepping away, I didn't really expect him to be so active, more than he was. It seems like he's doing more interviews. He's chiming in more on social media, more than ever before, even when he was an active fighter. So, what exactly is going on here? And so Arman Tsarukyan actually called him out for it publicly. And so, look, as it stands, Ilya's the UFC lightweight champion, right? Stepped away from the MMA, which we talked about. And, he said that he needed to step away probably at least until the end of first quarter in 2026. Okay. So there's rumors about, a divorce. There's rumors about, other stuff that's happening in and outside of the cage, the octagon, in his life, things involving his wife, his family. I personally, I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into a lot of that personal, kind of jargon, because a lot of that stuff, it's still rumors. And, nothing's really been finalized or concrete as of yet, right? And that's why things are going through litigation. He's got lawyers involved, and it's going through its judicial process. So we have to kind of respect that. And look, I mean, fighters, at the end of the day, I always say it, they're human. All right, life happens. Life always happens. Mental health happens, and mental health matters, right? There's a lot of things that are going on in a lot of different people's lives, right? And it's really sad. It's unfortunate. But at the same time, we're starting to create a little bit more awareness on it. And hopefully those individuals are able to get the help that they need and the support services that are available to them so they can deal with these issues, right? And so that's my take on that. But here's where things kind of start to get a little bit weird, right? Because when Ilia says he needs to take time away from fighting, but still out there doing hostile interviews, chiming in on almost every other tweet and message, and active on almost all major social media platforms. I mean, straight up calling out fighters, calling them trash, showing up at events, guys. Like, I thought he wanted to step away, like, not show his face, not be in the limelight. Like, look, if you got to pick up groceries and you're in a Walmart or Target or 7-Eleven, whatever, and you're out there, I mean, it is what it is. That's fine. He has every right to be. He can go to the gym. He has a life like each and every one of us does. He's out there. Big deal. You caught him on camera. Good for you. Woo! But that's different. But when he's showing up at events and he's giving interviews and he's talking and he's sharing and expressing his opinion on current fighter status and fight events and calling out fighters and calling them names, and so to me that sounds like he's an active fighter. He's back on the circuit, because that's what active fighters usually do, not the kind of behavior you expect from somebody who needs to take some time away out of the limelight so he or she can deal with their public, with their family related issues. So look, here's what Ilia said. At WOW FC in Madrid, all right, in Spain, this is where Topuria lives, he basically went like full scorched earth. He said that he's better than Makhachev, better than Tsarukyan. And he also went on to say that neither of those guys pose any kind of threat whatsoever to him, his career, his legacy. I mean, he went extra hard on Arman for pulling out of the UFC 311 title fight, basically saying that he's not at his level at all. No hesitation, no filter. I mean, like, then of course Arman's gonna fire back, and then and he did not let that slide. He jumped on social media right away, paraphrasing here, saying that, look, you're saying that you need time off for family issues, but you've got plenty of time for interviews. And then he finishes it with, you're a joke. That's not trash talk, guys. I mean, that's somebody calling out somebody else publicly for their behavior, for their antics. And honestly, I get why Arman's annoyed. Like, I kind of agree with him. Look, despite Tsarukyan's recent win over Dan Hooker, which he won in a decisive fashion, and his status as the number one contender, the winner of the UFC 324 fight that's going to happen between Justin Gaethje and Paddy the Baddy Pimblett will be next in line for Ilia Topuria's lightweight title. That's going to happen. So there's a lot of people talking about how they feel that Arman's kind of being snubbed because he won decisively over Dan Hooker. He did such a phenomenal job. You would have thought that Arman's name would have been thrown in the mix. But no, we got Gaethje and we got Paddy Pimblett. But that's fine. I mean, that just sets up Arman to fight another guy. And then after the winner, so whoever takes on Ilia Topuria for his title, whether it's Gaethje or Paddy Pimblett, the winner out of that, I'm sure, will take on Arman, assuming that Arman wins his next fight, which I'm sure he'll do well. And then that'll set up for a huge mega fight. And who knows? We might even be talking about UFC White House here. Who knows, right? But when Ilia faced Charles Oliveira at UFC 317, it took El Matador literally over 2 minutes to knock this guy out, right? So Tsarukyan believes the lightweight champion is stylistically an easier matchup for him than the Bronx. Now, that is interesting. I mean, now we're talking about Charles Oliveira, bringing him into the equation. But when he said that, okay, there's a lot of back and forth here, guys, right? And so, like, from Arman's perspective, right, he just submitted Dan Hooker. He's on a roll, guys. He's done everything right, everything that he needs to be able to be in discussions for a title shot. But instead of getting one, he's going to watch Gaethje and Paddy fight it out, jump the queue, jump the line, while the champ is still out there talking like he's an active fighter. But he's not fighting. That's frustrating. I get it. Right? So the bigger issue, honestly, is that when a champion is inactive, for whatever reason, the division stalls. Okay, now put all that on the shelf for a second, guys. And now let's bring in Khabib. Enter stage Khabib. Khabib? You got Khabib, Nurmagomedov, and he's jumping into the fray. And look, he doesn't mince words, right? I mean, when he speaks, he's straight up and he's to the point. So when he says that Arman Tsarukyan beats Ilia Topuria, like in a fight, that's not even a maybe. That's not even a close. I mean, that's like an 80-20 in Arman's favor, right? Maybe even a 90-10. Why? Wrestling, grappling, pressure, physicality, range control. Okay, these are all the skill sets that Tsarukyan has. And when Khabib talks about lightweights, and when he talks about fighters, people listen. Because he knows a thing or two. He's done a thing or two. If you catch my drift. So look, here's a real question, guys. Like, so what if Topuria comes back after this hiatus, right? And after his family issues and whatever and everything is kind of resolved, he comes back and he starts to show a little bit of rustiness, right? And Arman continues to, climb higher, keeps winning, while the belts stay frozen. And then the UFC really starts to kind of feel the pressure to strip the title, potentially, right? But here's the deal. We know that Gaethje and Paddy are fighting, and that's happening UFC 324, and that's happening because the winner out of that is going to get a title shot. So we know that's going to happen. But if Topuria continues to remain inactive, then the UFC is going to have the UFC is going to have to do what they have to do. They're going to have to strip him from his title. And the whole division could honestly flip upside down. And then you're going to have like a title eliminator or something like that. I don't know. But I mean, they've been promised, Gaethje and Pimblett have been promised that the winner out of that's going to fight Ilia for the title. But if there's no Ilia in the equation, then what do? So does Arman does he get thrown into the mix? Does he finally get that fight that he wants? I mean, could it be Arman and Ilia potentially? Like, I mean, that matchup is chaos. And I love it. I love it. So here's my honest take. All right. And when I say my honest take, that's not because I wasn't honest in all these minutes. Obviously, I've been honest the whole time this interview has happened. I don't know. It's just a habit. Like, here's my honest opinion. So what? Does that mean you weren't honest for all those other minutes that you were talking before? It's funny. Silly idioms, silly expressions we have in our English language. But here's my honest take. Topuria's confidence is certainly elite. All right, no question about that. He's an elite fighter. He's allowed to speak because he backs up what he says in the octagon. But he's supposed to be off the grid. That's like calling in sick. You can't go to work because you called in sick, but you're working away, you're attending meetings, you're chiming in on your group team chats. You're sick. Stay sick. Stay away. And then you've got Arman, who just is hungrier and hungrier and hungrier as a fighter. And so, look, you can talk, you can do interviews, you can chime in on people's chats, you can call other fighters out, you can call them trash, but at some point, you gotta fight. You gotta become an active fighter again, come back to the octagon, come back to the folds of MMA and the UFC, and let's get it on. So let me know, is Arman Tsarukyan, is he right to call out Ilia Topuria, or should he have kept it respectful? I mean, the guy called him out, for crying out loud. He insulted him. So what do you expect Arman to do? I've yet to hear Islam Makhachev respond to Ilia Topuria. Islam is like, he's one of those guys, he just takes his time with things. He doesn't really, he just kind of lets things bead right off of his chest. He doesn't really take any of this really seriously anyway. He's not one to, like, you could trash talk him in front of his face, insult him, call him whatever, and he'll just have a smile. He'll shake your hand probably too and walk away. It's like, doesn't affect him, man. But in this case, Arman did, he did call him out, because Arman is confused as well. He goes, isn't Ilia supposed to be retired, sitting at home and dealing with shit? Why is he's acting, he's more engaged in the fight scene than the active fighters themselves. So anyways, that's my opinion. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Drop your thoughts and comments, guys. I read all of them. By the way, I love your guys' comments. Like, it's unbelievable how much activity. Like, you guys are really building a community here on Duality 7X. I mean, at some point, we'll have to create some kind of a Discord channel or something, because there's a lot of repeat people that are coming online and they have some amazing things to say. You guys have also corrected me on a few occasions, so you guys know your stuff, man. Your boxing, MMA IQ, I love it. I mean, and maybe at some point we'll probably even do like a meet and greet and stuff like that. I'll probably do it in like Vegas, or We'll do it. We've got a lot of milestones that we need to achieve, and we've got a lot of ladders, I guess, that we need to climb for us to even get to that point. But yeah, right now, your likes, your thoughts, your comments, you subscribing to the channel, getting engaged, those are the things that helps us out as a grassroots channel and helps us continue to build this community. So thank you. Thank you to all of you guys. And look, we're on the precipice of 2025 coming to an end. So I want to thank each and every one of you guys. We'll probably have to do another nice video sometime tomorrow, but without you guys, we couldn't have come this far. I mean, we have almost close to 2,500 subscribers. I mean, just months ago, we were at like 55, I remember, 24, 55 subscribers. And I'm like, wow, this is a long climb. And that's all thanks to you guys. We've got like teens of thousands of views. We've got people chiming in, commenting. I mean, that's all thanks to you guys, right? So again, as a channel, we have a long way to go. We're very, very small, a little speck on the radar, a little piece of sand, a little, pebble stone on the beach. There's a whole ocean out there, unbelievable YouTubers and guys on social media who are so active. But look, I've got a little challenge. I mean, if any of you guys are really good at doing shorts, and you guys want to do shorts, if you want to take some of my videos and put them into shorts and put them out there, I might have to run a contest. Or maybe we can work something out. My email address is in a profile. So if you guys want to get in touch with me, and if you've got some ideas, let me know. But always looking to grow and always looking to stay relevant. So I love your guys' feedback and comments. So thank you guys again. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please again smash a like and subscribe, share, comment, like, and I look forward to catching you guys on the next one.